Hello everybody, how you doing? It's Damon with Damon's List yet again, and this time I will do another rebooking video. But before I do, I'll remind you guys, I know basically comments about basically the video quality. I told you guys when I hit 50 subscriber, then I will fix that. But until then, it is what it is. So you want me to fix that? Help me get to 50 subscriber at least, and then we'll talk. Well, no, the one 50, get me to set 50 subscriber. They won't be talking, they'll be doing, and I'll fix it. Okay? Because right now it's sufficient for what I need to do, and also it has to be worth it in terms of subscribers and for my actions there. So for me to fix it, it has to be worth it for me, worthwhile, a worthwhile endeavor for me. If not, it's like you have to understand why. So that was it. So you want me to improve the quality of the video? Please help me get to 50 subscribers. And yeah, now we'll do the SummerSlam 2003, which was a SummerSlam that had a lot of potential, I felt, but ended up being a whole bunch of nothing because nothing changed. So, and I felt like a lot of titles were on the line in the original card. The World Tag Team titles in SmackDown were not defended. The Cruiserweight title was in a pre-show. The Women's title was not defended. The IC title was not defended. And with Eric Bischoff, it was 7 match, and Eric Bischoff was one of them. So I would like to rectify this. We also had to take over State Train just to get Undertaker on the card. So remedy to this. First off, we will start off the first match will be for the World Tag Team titles. The La Resistance defense against Dudleys. The Dudleys. Rob Conway came out and made his debut on that night, and I would keep it the same since you could do the title change the next month. That's fine. So I would have Larry Styles win due to Rob Conway's debut and outside interference in the first match. Then the second match, we would have for the women's title, Gail Kim versus Molly Ali. I would have kept Gail Kim as women's champion until then because I didn't see the point of taking her out, like taking her title like 2, 3 weeks after she won it in the Battle Royal. So I would keep her as women's champion until then, and she would lose in like an 8 minute, 9 minute match. She would lose the women's title to Molly after the Molly go around finisher. Like Gail Kim would try maybe to eat defeat, doesn't work, or was like a cross jacket neck breaker, doesn't work. Basically countered into a back suplex by Molly Ollie, who does afterwards. The Molly go around 1, 2, 3. It'd be a fine, okay match. I wouldn't expect I think it would be a good showcase for Gail Kim to show what she can do, but I wouldn't expect in that era for this to to be the Gail Kim of TNA, basically given as much time. So I also have to take consideration of the time and the era that was put in. So I would expect 8, 9 minutes. Then you would have for the Intercontinental title, Christian defending against RVD. I know that a good match, bad three-way match at Unforgiven next month. But I thought, hey, Christian and RVD could do some magic at SummerSlam. Christian just regained the IC title from just regained the IC title from Booker T, who got injured, and I'm tempted to give in the title to RVD here, but remember it's like be a repeat of the last year's SummerSlam. So what if Christian cheat to regain the Intercontinental title, which puts forward the story of Christian always sneaking by to cheat to keep the Intercontinental title and keep it away from RVD. Woo, basically we're gonna lose it also at Unforgiven 2003 when in a three-way match Christian gets pinned, not RVD, and it leads to like on Raw a last chance match in a last chance ladder match for the IC title, in which case RVD does win. So like in real life there. Now in so I'm just looking at this. Okay. In the next match will be the Cruiserweight title because it'd be Rey Mysterio defense against Billy Kidman. I've noticed the first 3 matches happen to be heels winning, so I feel like you need to break that up You have Rey Mysterio against Kidman on a great 14-minute match, which is designed as basically a show stealer, which it is. But Rey Mysterio wins after Kidman tries a shooting star, doesn't work, and Rey hits the West Coast spot for the win. In the fifth match of the night, it'll be The Undertaker against John Cena. We had Undertaker for John Cena at Vengeance 2003, in which case Undertaker won. Basically, I know they had a rematch on SmackDown where Cena cheated to win, and that could still happen. But then there's like the rubber match at SummerSlam, and as a shocker, I would have John Cena win. There will be a Vince McMahon distraction, but Vince will not hit Undertaker. It would just distract him and would lead to it would lead like to Cena delivering two FUs, two AAs to win. Then in the next match, you would have for the United States title Eddie Guerrero defend against Chris Benoit, against Matt Hardy, against Zach Gowen, against Tajiri and Rhino. And Matt Hardy would take out Zach Gowen. Rhino would gore Matt Hardy. Tajiri would deliver the buzzsaw kick to Rhino, take him out. Then Benoit would basically deliver the basically rolling German suplex and then the flying headbutt. But when he goes to cover him, as soon as he goes to cover him, Eddie Guerrero goes for the top rope, delivers a frog splash on both Benoit and Tajiri. We'll see his Benoit out, and Eddie does pin Tajiri to retain the U.S. title. Then you have, for the World Tag Team titles, you have the world's greatest tag team and Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas versus the APA versus the FBI. APA delivers the clothesline from hell to Chuck Palumbo, then delivers their double team powerbomb to Johnny Stamboli. And then it leads to basically Nunzio distracting the ref as distracting Bradshaw as the world greatest tag team double team Farouk and pin him for the 1-2-3. Then you have Kane versus Shane McMahon. Basically, all the stupid stuff that happened, I just don't want RVD to be the victim of the Kane versus RVD stuff, because I felt like Kane versus RVD in SummerSlam 2003 basically brought back RVD to basically say that Kane came main event, but not RVD, and I don't want that. So what basically, for that matter, I would have Kane basically use Shane McMahon as sacrificial lamb, and the first real victim of his heel streak, and I would have Kane beat him. Like, you could beat him with a choke slam, but 1, 2, no, he pulls Shane up. He delivers another choke slam, 1, 2, again pulls him up. Then he hits a tombstone on a chair, 1, 2, 3. Then in the next match, you would have for the WWE title, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, same as in real life. Kurt Angle wins, and he wins via ankle lock. But this is where he introduced the grapevine, and this is where he wins. He wins by tap out after the grapevine ankle lock. Now, before the ultimate match will be Randy Orton against Tommy Dreamer. Randy Orton basically says he's a legend killer and basically says he's above our core. Tommy Dreamer challenges him, and of course, Randy Orton wins in 8 minutes. And the main event for the World Heavyweight title is the Elimination Chamber. Triple H defends Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho versus Kevin Nash versus Goldberg. And who's going to replace Randy Orton? All right, in an upset, I would have Hurricane qualify by beating Randy Orton, who basically has been chased basically chased from ringside onto the ring by Tommy Dreamer, which sets up Orton Dreamer, and it sets up basically the Elimination Chamber. Now, who could be eliminated first? I could basically have Nash dominate. It seems to dominate, but everybody's teaming up on him. You have Chris Jericho delivering the Enziguri. You have Shawn Michaels. You have basically you have Hurricane deliver the was it basically I don't remember this. It was a Nightmare on Helms Street cut, basically final cut. I don't remember how they call it WB. Then you have the sweet chin music, and you could have basically you would have Shawn, Jericho, and Hurricane all pin Nash, get rid of him. Afterwards, he delivers a jackknife powerbomb to Hurricane, HBK, Jericho as the buzzer hits, and it's Triple H. Triple H refused to get out of the pod, so until basically when he does, he gets super kicked by Shawn Michaels. Time for last entrance, it's Goldberg. So this is the time people can complain about Goldberg and call him Oldberg now, which is stupid. But back in 2003, when he came to BB, a lot of mixed reaction because when he was basically booked to be Even Steven, people booed him. But the moment they booked him as Goldberg, which is the problem even against Gunter, or about basically when they keep bringing back Goldberg, is that Goldberg, they want the streak dominating Goldberg. They don't want the back and forth Goldberg who comes back to lose. If every time they reintroduced Goldberg, the only time they got it right was at Survivor Series 2016 because they had him getting a dominant win over Brock Lesnar. They had him squash Lesnar like he was just a jabroni in the middle of his streak, and that's what people want from Goldberg. They don't want a long match with him. And I would have them basically the moment they kind of figure it out in that Elimination Chamber match, people loved it. But then Triple H had to Triple H, and basically, hey, I'm gonna win and pin Goldberg, which didn't sit well with the crowd. And then they had him win it the next month, which was still a pop, but nowhere near as big because they had tried Triple H wanted to be a 50-50 match against Goldberg, which basically brings me back to WrestleMania 12. Then they wonder why Warrior might have been selfish, might have been kind of an asshole, but I think he was business savvy, knowing that nobody wants a back and forth match with the Ultimate Warrior, unless the WB title match. He knew right away that Warrior will only be taken well and great reaction if he squashed Triple H. So business-wise, it made all sense in the world. This is Triple H going against what business is. Jim Cornette, right, he's the guy that worked with the guy that made money. But here's the thing, I'm going to add something. Triple H is the guy that could have made more money if he put his ego aside. Rather than basically being the ultimate mark for himself, hey, Warrior might be the ultimate warrior, but Triple H is the ultimate mark because he reduced the amount of money he could make if he let his ego put his ego at the door. And he did business the right way, not just I'm going to get my title. Put over Booker T, put over Owen Hart, you put over Rock at WrestleMania 16, put over Sting, put over Lesnar at WrestleMania 29. Man, people will be having a better opinion of him as a wrestler. And I think he's trying to be kind of hypocritical because he's going against basically everybody could be the next Triple H or basically have the same rights. Triple H tries to undercut it right away. And yeah, like it's okay for him when he did it, but not for everybody else. So, and basically trying just the booking thing is to basically save his reputation, salvage his reputation. Because if not, it's like he found out that basically people didn't like him. That's how I feel it. So it's a bit of selflessness, there's a bit of selfishness as well. But getting back to the match, I would basically, since there's 5 men left, Goldberg comes in the match, and the first thing he does, so basically would spear, jackhammer, or hurricane, and pin him for the 1-2-3. Spear, jackhammer, uh, Chris Jericho for the 1-2-3. Then Shawn tries super kick, gets speared, gets speared, but gets speared through one of the glass, basically one of the glass pods. Jackhammer 1-2-3. Triple H comes in immediately, tries to hit him with a sledgehammer, and he does on the stomach. Then he goes to rush again, gets caught in a spear, jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. So in the end, after basically pinning 4 guys in a row, Goldberg wins the World Heavyweight title, and I bet you end the pay-per-view with Goldberg chance. This is how you dominate Goldberg right from the get-go. If you're not, WB never committed to it, never committed to a streak that leads to the WWE title. The closest they came to was Brock Lesnar. Even then, there were some DQ finishes. But as a face, they never did. They tried to Ryback, but they immediately undercut him. From say what you want about Ryback now, he was a hell of a lot popular back then. And if you didn't want to put the title on him, then he shouldn't have been booked against CM Punk. It kind of ruined his image, his prestige, because they want to say aura, but it's like you went from being undefeated to losing to every pay-per-view, even losing the Shield. I mean, the one pin at Elimination Chamber 2003 and being pinned for no reason against Mark Henry at WrestleMania 29. You can't undo that damage. It's like you don't want to be committing to this. With Obafemi, honestly, I don't think he should have been pinned at Clash in Paris. I think he should still have won. At the very worst, make it a close encounter match. And I don't mind that basically he's foregoing the world title match for now. As long as he cashes in, cashes it in, that's fine. Like not a Money in the Bank cash in, but as long as it cashes in, as in he basically say, I'm going to use that title shot. I have to tell you in advance, but I'll use it in advance. I'll use it. Because honestly, it shouldn't always be predictable that every time that the people that came to the rematch winner challenge for the world title or the WWE title. That I have no problem with it. Honestly, by itself, I have no problem with it as long as they don't forget about it. Because Oba should have won. What was the alternative? Javon Evans? Javon Evans seems to be a lifelong mid-carder. I mean, who else? Seth Rollins? Well, that's the only tournament he didn't win. Apart from the SmackDown Tag Team titles, the King of the Ring is the only thing he didn't win. That's true. But at the same time, do we really need to go push Seth Rollins to the moon again? Like, bar Roman Reigns, I think those are the two over-pushed people, and Jey Uso. I could have sent Cody Rhodes, but everybody else, it's like, I'm starting to get tired of this. You know? So, yeah, King of the Ring can be important, but it's not what I would book Cody Rhodes. Well, Cody Rhodes already won one. I would not book Seth Rollins to win. But yeah, like I said, I think it's important that WB like learn how to create a winning streak that puts somebody over. Like at least WWE, for all their faults, knew how to book Goldberg over. This is why I think that the formula would work at SummerSlam 2003 by having him basically just barrel through everybody else and have him win. And give him at least a 3 or 4 month world title reign. Hey, you don't need to give him the title, keep him the title till later than Armageddon. I agree with that. But what the hell, man? Like Triple H's ego is basically, honestly, one reason people were turned off of WWE and never came back to TNA or AEW. Truth bomb. Anyway, enough of a rant. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. Catch you guys later. Oh, and from now on, I'll make sure to put basically time marks. Sorry. Damn it. Basically, I'll be basically to have a better, picture for the actual video. Basically uh for the for the video preview. So let me know what you think. Sorry, thumbnails. Damn it. This is the thing when it happens when you get older. Some words, it's like they're on the tip of your tongue and you forget about them. I'll make sure to have thumbnails for every one of my videos. They might not be added right away, but they'll be added in terms of rebooking video. So let me know what you think. Comments down below. Catch you guys later. Peace.